Hello everyone, welcome to another YouTube video, and we are doing something I have not done in a while. If you go onto my LEGO game review playlist, you'll see what I mean. It is time to do another, I thought, sort of start another little collection series of reviewing video games, more specifically World War II, World War One, historical themed video games. I've already done one earlier, of course, about GoldenEye, which was James Bond themed. All the things I love. You can find links to all of this at the end of this YouTube video. Today, to kick things off, I thought we'd do a bit of Call of Duty and World War II, that is. Call of Duty World War II, a review of this game. I absolutely love this. I didn't actually get this game until, I think, Christmas 2023. I've played the whole game through, so I thought, why not review it, give my thoughts on it, and ultimately does a game that came out in 2017 still hold up now and today? So please enjoy this video. Now, when I got this game, I immediately fell in love with it. I immediately played it quite a lot, and I was, at the beginning, thinking, like I often can do with stuff like historical themed events turn into, like, you know, films or video games, and that is it too Hollywood size? Is it too, you know, people are like, you know, cranking 90s and building, I don't know, toilet paper forts in World War II? They're not. It's not like Fortnite, it's much better than that. It was incredibly realistic. Straight away, you're getting launched straight into D-Day, which is, in my opinion, the first dislike I don't like the game, the fact that it is called World War II, but it only focuses on the Western European theatre in World War II post-Dunkirk, i.e. when they literally re-land back there in 1944. A more in-depth or complex or even more expensive game spanning, I think, the entire Second World War on multiple fronts. You know, like thinking about Battlefield 1, you perhaps could have taken, you know, yes, the Western theatre, which is done very well in this game, 1944, 1945, also, you know, the Eastern Front, you know, Russia against Germany, the Far East in Japan and Burma and Thailand, or even naval engagements, like in the North Atlantic or Indian Ocean. I feel like that could have perhaps been made the game a lot more stand out. And that would have given it even more replay value. But nevertheless, for what it is and what it does offer, it is incredibly well done. And there are, of course, multiple missions on the game, which are all named after either historical operations or campaigns in the Second World War, or villages or towns, or just general code names that they were used at the time, which again adds the realisticness, which is absolutely amazing. Not to mention some of the key characters in the game, such as, you know, Daniels, Zussman, Pearson, Turner, were all real people in the Second World War who actually fought. Not necessarily, of course, that same unit, but they were real people who are now just turned into the game. And to be fair, if you actually look at these historical people, some of them actually do look quite accurate to how they actually were in real life, which is very good. In terms of the gameplay itself, it's fairly standard, really, for a 2017 game about, you know, first-person shooter at the core, that's what it is. Very good first person. You've got all the multiple weapons in the game there, very, very good. And you can pick up any rifle or any pistol or any machine gun you like once you've taken out the enemy, or you have, of course, found that weapon as you make your way through the game. The game does take a purely sort of one-shot, one-action process, in which, for example, the first level D-Day, you go from the beaches, running up to the strongholds and hedgehog trenches, then you move up into the nearby village, and then, of course, Pearson gets hurt, and then he gets taken to the medical care, and then they take out all of the strongholds and German machine gun nests, and then, of course, that mission's done. You're onto Operation Cobra, and they jump forward to July 1944, which I do like quite a lot. It adds more realisticness to the game, and the game is incredibly realistic. It's purely, you can only jump and shoot, and you have to, you know, heal yourself with medical kits. And if there is like a whole artillery bombardment, for example, you die instantly. If you get shot, then you can take 2 or 3 shots before dying. So again, realistic. Although, when you are shooting the enemy, i.e., you know, the Nazi Germans, well, it's just actually the Germans you're killing in the game. Yeah, because they only focus on the Western front in the Netherlands, Belgium, Luxembourg, and Germany. They die instantly from stuff like headshots or shooting them in the heart. But then, if you yourself are shot in the head or heart, you won't die instantly. I guess that makes it good for rage quitting goes down, but it's something to consider if you're looking for, again, slightly more realisticness. Characters in the game are very interactable. Characters have their own dialogues and story, which are quite interesting and complex to explore. The liberation of Paris is by far, I think, my favourite level. That's done incredibly well, incredibly realistically, and that's very high tense gameplay when you're, the French resistance, and then you have to infiltrate, Nazi-occupied Paris, and then you liberate that, and then there's more, like B-17s, Wildcats, and Mustang P-51Ds. You can actually fly in the game, which again is amazing. You have several game modes, which of course are regular, hard, and veteran, except for the game that's just difficulty level, so that's not much really to be said about that. Once you have finished all the missions in the game, it does end in March 1945 in the Rhineland, saving Zussman, who of course is Jewish, from a Nazi death camp. Which again, the game is very good, but if it went all the way up to perhaps Berlin, that would have been good, because like I said at the beginning of the video, they're all leaving out other campaigns of the Second World War, and again then the clues in the name of World War, not just the Americans on the European theatre. So the fact they're leaving that out behind, it would perhaps have been nice if they did make the game all the way up until that of Berlin in May 1945. That would have, like I said, been nice. But again, for what it was a very good game. So you've completed the game, what next? Well, there is of course a free level mode in which you just go back and you have the collectibles to collect. There's 33 mementos in total, kind of like mini kits if you like, or just extra things to play the game again, which are really cool. Some are actually quite well hidden, which I do quite like, and they're just general sort of iron crosses or German military intelligence notes. Again, it's kind of the stuff you would want to scour in a Second World War scenario or in any military engagement scenario. There's 33 of them to collect in total, so there's plenty of reason to play the games again. The second and final collectible side mission, side quest, is again, in each mission there's one or two sort of wounded soldiers you have to rescue, and again, it has the completion of the game, and you have to do that, and again, some of them are quite hard to do, especially when getting shot out or getting with the artillery bombardment or machine gun nests. You've got that to complete the game as well. So overall, I think it's a very good game, Call of Duty World War II. It definitely still plays out very, very well in the modern day, and you can play with your friends as much as 18 people on a live match, which for 2017 was having some quite nice stuff to do. And there's also the added zombie level. That's a whole separate part of the game of the campaign. That's the historical part, that's all historically realistic, what I've just been discussing in the past 7 minutes. There's of course the extra sort of zombie mode thing, which is called like the Final Reich, and it's again, for a first person shooter, it's good, it's well done. David Tennant even makes an appearance. It's not real, it's quite well, there's Nazis and there's zombies and they put them in one, what can you expect? But if that's your thing, I totally respect that, and that's cool. But there is that as well. I guess marketing, Call of Duty, you want to have that sort of extra creativity that isn't just the real thing. Because of course, Call of Duty, for example, Black Ops, I haven't played any Call of Duty games apart from this one. There's also not a zombie game mode, but I won't get into that much. It's pretty cool if you like that kind of thing, but I don't really play it because, first of all, if you're not multiplayer, it's a bit less significant anyway, and it's not really realistic. Just play the campaign, that's more than enough anyway. I'm still playing the game, trying to complete it, and I've had the game for, like I said, this is my second year having it now, so third year technically, 2023, 2025, unless you're watching this in the future. But anyway, I really do recommend the game. In terms of I would rate this game, good solid 7, 8 out of 10. It's absolutely a great game. The only thing I wouldn't say I like about it is, first of all, the fact it only is a limited time frame, only one European theatre. The third thing I would say is, again, that sort of free playness and replay value. It would be nice if you perhaps could choose your own weapon in the game, perhaps when you start up, or even have the option to sort of play as the German, the Third Reich, or the Wehrmacht, or the SS Panzer soldiers in the game. That would also be quite nice, because, for example, there are lots of rifles in there, like the 303 Lee Enfield, the Luger pistol, which you can't get in free play mode unless you literally physically go up and take out that soldier or find a weapon in the game. It would be quite nice if like a Star Wars, where you can choose your character, you can choose your weapons, and that's what you go in with in free play. This doesn't have that. It's sort of free play, but only for collecting the collectibles, which you can't collect in the story mode anyway. So you could sort of speed run the game quite quickly as well. Thank you so much for watching. I'm hoping to get Call of Duty Vanguard, which is set in the First World War, and I think Russian Civil War as well. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments down below, which I definitely should. I want to play that game after I finish this one, so turn your notifications on to hear a video coming up in the future about more World War I and World War II themed video games. That was Xbox One, Call of Duty World War II. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in my next YouTube video. Goodbye.